Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we really get into the wisdom from some amazing people, and pull out the stuff you can use right away.
Exactly. Actionable insights.
Right. And today, we're diving deep into Jim Rohn, his philosophy, specifically his 7 strategies for wealth and happiness.
Yeah.
This guy really turned things around for himself.
Yeah, he did. And look, we're not just skimming the surface here. This is for you, the listener, who wants the full picture, the stories, the why behind it all.
The context that makes it actually make sense.
We're aiming to give you that shortcut to understanding these ideas Ron talked about, which honestly, they're timeless principles.
Okay, so to really get Ron, you have to understand his story, right? His starting point.
Absolutely. It's key. He was, what, 25?
Yeah, 25. Making just $57 a week. Can you imagine? Behind on bills.
And he talked about having failed promises to his wife. It wasn't just about the money, though. It was deeper.
It was his whole philosophy, wasn't it? He thought, work hard, get rewarded. But it wasn't happening.
No. He said he was sweating plenty, but just failing. And the scary part was realizing he'd sort of accepted it.
Just accepted this meager lot, as he put it. Like this was it. This was his life.
And that realization that hard work alone wasn't the answer that was terrifying for him, but it also lit a fire.
Became the catalyst. Okay, so he knows he needs to change, but he's stuck. No capital, can't go back to school.
Right. Feels trapped, and then boom, fate steps in.
At a sales conference, he meets Earl Shove.
Yeah, this successful entrepreneur. Shove saw something in Ron, even though Ron didn't really have a plan yet, just the desire.
And Shove mentored him for 5 years.
That's right. Taught him this whole philosophy, attitude, discipline, planning. Ron absorbed it all, applied it, and, well, his life transformed.
And Ron always said the philosophy was the real gift, more than the job Shove gave him.
Exactly. So that's our mission today. First, let's unpack that core philosophy, the mindset stuff.
Before we even get to the 7 strategies themselves.
Right. And then we'll dive deep into the most practical strategies, see how they all link together to build, a balanced life.
Sounds good. Let's get into it. Okay, part 1, the foundation. Starting with fundamentals and simplicity. What did Ron mean by fundamentals?
Well, he wasn't talking about, the latest trends or hacks. He meant the basic, unchanging principles, the stuff that works across generations.
Ideas that belong to the ages, as he said.
Exactly. Because for Ron, success wasn't some magic trick. It wasn't luck.
He said wealth, happiness, achievement, they're the natural consequence of doing the basics consistently.
Consistently and persistently applying those fundamentals. So his big warning was, stop looking for exotic answers.
Yeah, the quick fixes. Secret sauce.
Right. The real answers are usually simple, maybe even a bit boring, but they work.
And that focus on simplicity connects to Shove's half-dozen principle.
Right. That's a powerful one. Shove's idea, which Ron really ran with, was that in almost anything you do,
Health, business, wealth, whatever.
there are always just a handful of things, maybe 6, that make almost all the difference. 80% of the results come from those few key actions.
The 80-20 rule, basically.
Pretty much. Ron loved the farmer analogy to explain it.
Okay.
A farmer needs good soil, good seed, water, sun, fertilizer, and just, care. Those 6 things.
If they nail those 6, they get a good harvest.
Exactly. The successful farmer focuses intensely on mastering those 6 basics for their farm. They don't get distracted by the 94 other things that only give you maybe 20% of the yield.
So the message for you, the listener, is find your half-dozen things, the core actions in your work, your life.
And then pour your energy into those. Master them.
Okay, so you identify the fundamentals. But knowing isn't enough. You need discipline.
Discipline. Ron called it the master key, the absolute essential ingredient.
The bridge between thought and accomplishment.
The glue that binds inspiration to actually getting things done. Without it, ideas just stay ideas.
I think his concept of how failure happens is so insightful here. It's not usually the big, dramatic blow-up.
No, that's just the symptom showing up late. He argued that real failure is, it's an accumulation.
Accumulation of what?
Little failures, tiny neglects, day after day, all stemming from just a little bit too little discipline.
Like deciding, I'll skip saving that $10 this week. What's $10?
Exactly. Or I should write 10 letters, but 3 is probably fine. You rationalize it. Each little omission seems harmless on its own.
But they add up, like tiny snowballs rolling downhill.
Gathering mass until it's an avalanche, and the danger is that self-deception. thinking one missed day, one shortcut doesn't matter.
Ron said failure is basically saying, I'll do it tomorrow 10,000 times.
Yeah, the disaster is already baked in long before the crisis hits.
But, and this is the good news, success works the same way, but in reverse.
Absolutely. Those small, consistent acts of diligence, saving the extra dollar, making the extra call, reading the extra pages, and build momentum.
It's that accumulated daily discipline that unlocks everything else. Self-esteem, pride, results.
And Wright was adamant, anyone can start this. Today. Right now.
Doesn't have to be some huge life change immediately. Start small.
Start small, but stick with it. And he pushed back hard on the idea that discipline is somehow unnatural.
Oh, right. The tree analogy.
Yeah, a tree has to constantly push against gravity to grow tall. It's an effort. It takes energy.
It's striving.
Exactly. And as humans, we have that choice. We can consciously choose to strive to apply that discipline. It's actually cooperating with our nature to become all we can be.
Which is why he wasn't a big fan of just affirmations, right? Motivation without action.
No, he was pretty blunt about that. He felt that just repeating positive words without doing the work, it's like a drug.
A narcotic, he called it.
Yeah. It makes you feel good for a moment, gives you this illusion of progress, but you haven't actually done anything. You're deluding yourself.
You say you want prosperity, but your actions don't match.
Right. So his message was, get started. Actually do something. Want to fix your finances. You need a prosperity plan, and you need to act on it today.
Want better health. Start the health plan today.
Make today day one of a new pattern. Break free from those old habits. That takes conscious effort, firing the thrusters, as he might say.
Okay, so that idea of starting today, taking action, leads right into strategy number one. Unleash the power of goals.
Goals are the antidote to that aimless drift caused by lack of discipline. They give you direction, intentional design for your future.
And this really hit home for Ron during that famous chat with Shof, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Pivotal moment. Ron's just started working with Shof, feeling hopeful.
And Shof asked, okay, let's see your list of goals.
And Ron has to admit, he doesn't have one. Anywhere.
Awkward.
Totally. And then Shof drops the bombshell. Well, if you don't have a list of goals, I can probably guess your bank balance within a few $100s.
Wow. And he did. Shof nailed it.
Yeah. That floored Ron. He realized, okay, it's not my effort that's missing, it's the direction.
So Ron makes this distinction between dreams and goals. How does that work?
Dreams are like the vision, the projection of the life you want. They provide the initial pull, the inspiration.
But they're often fuzzy.
Exactly. And a fuzzy future doesn't have much pull. Goals are where you define the dream, make it specific, concrete.
The step-by-step blueprint.
Right. Ron described well-defined goals as being like magnets. The clearer you describe what you want, the color, the size, the feeling, the stronger that magnet pulls you towards it.
Especially when things get tough.
When you hit those potholes, as he called them. The strong goal keeps pulling you forward.
And Shof's insight here was crucial. Ron didn't lack intelligence.
No, he had plenty of smarts.
What he lacked was reasons. Enough why.
That's it. Reasons first, answers second. Shof taught him that life kind of hides the answers.
Camouflages them.
Yeah. And they only reveal themselves to people who have strong enough reasons to actually look for them.
So if your why is big enough,
the how tends to show up. Think about it. If someone you loved needed something desperately, you'd find a way, right? You'd find the knowledge, the money, whatever it took.
Your motivation unlocks your perception of solutions.
Absolutely. Which leads us to the whole idea of nitty-gritty motivation.
Okay, what's that?
It's those really personal, sometimes embarrassing moments that just flip a switch. Irreversible change. Ron's own story, the cookie story, is the classic example.
Oh yeah, the Girl Scout cookies. Tell us that one.
Okay, so this young Girl Scout, maybe 10 years old, comes to his door, gives this fantastic sales pitch for her cookies, $2 a box.
Simple enough.
Simple enough, except Ron, a working adult, college-educated, he didn't have $2 on him.
Ouch. That had to sting.
Deeply. He was so embarrassed he actually lied to her, said he'd already bought some, watched her skip away.
And that was the moment.
That was the rock bottom moment. He leaned against the door and just said, I'm done. I've had it with being broke. I've had it with lying. He promised himself right then he would never, ever be embarrassed by lack of money again.
Wow. Just $2. But it was the principle.
It was the principle. That specific personal shame became his fuel, not just to get by, but to always have cash in his pocket as a symbol of control.
And he believed that kind of emotion anger, embarrassment if you channel it right.
It can be incredibly powerful. He used to say, massive success is the sweetest revenge.
Okay, so besides those nitty-gritty moments, Ron also talked about bigger, more aspirational motivators,
Yeah.
4 of them.
4 big ones. First,
Recognition.
people wanting to feel valued, special.
Exactly. He saw people work incredibly hard, maybe even harder than for just money, simply for that validation to be recognized.
Okay, what's number 2?
The feeling of winning. Just the sheer joy of the pursuit, the achievement.
He mentioned his millionaire friends who kept working. Right. They weren't doing it for more money, necessarily. They loved the game, the challenge, the win.
Makes sense. Third,
Family. A huge driver for so many people, doing things for your kids, your spouse, that maybe you wouldn't push yourself to do just for you.
like the guy wanting to make $250K a year.
Not for fancy cars, but just so he could travel the world with his family for 6 months. That was his why.
Powerful. And the fourth motivator.
Benevolence, the desire to give back, to share your success.
He used Andrew Carnegie as the example.
Yeah. Carnegie decided early on, first half of life, accumulate wealth, second half, give it all away, and he did it. Amassed a fortune and then spent years distributing it. Giving itself became the goal.
Amazing. Okay, let's get practical. How did Ron suggest setting goals, the mechanics of it?
He likes starting long range. Think 1 to 10 years out, and he had this quick brainstorming exercise.
The 6 questions.
Right. Grab a piece of paper, spend maybe 12, 15 minutes, and just jot down answers to, what do I want to do? Be, see, have, go, and share, and for like 50 items quickly.
Don't censor yourself, just get them down.
Exactly. Then you take that list and categorize, is this a 1-year goal, 3-year, 5, 10?
Why is categorizing so important?
Balance. If everything's 10 years away, you're probably procrastinating. No urgency.
And if everything's short term?
You might lack long-term vision. You need a healthy mix to keep you motivated now, but also building towards something bigger.
And he had that warning about the astronaut trap. What was that?
Yeah, that's interesting. He observed that some Apollo astronauts actually got depressed after walking on the moon.
Because they had achieved their one massive life goal?
Exactly. There was nothing left driving them. So Ron's point was, don't have just one big goal. Always have multiple projects, multiple layers of goals on the fire.
Success is a journey, not a destination you arrive at and stop.
Precisely. Keep evolving. Keep setting new targets.
Now, what Ron said about the true purpose of goals, that really stuck with me. It's not just about getting this stuff.
Oh, that's maybe the deepest insight. The real value isn't the car, the house, the money. It's who you become in the process of achieving those goals.
The skills you learn, the discipline you build, the person you have to grow into.
Exactly. It's self-reinforcing. He used the example. Give $1 million to someone who hasn't developed the discipline or character.
They'll probably lose it.
Right. But take everything away from a self-made millionaire.
He'll build it back. Because they became the kind of person who knows how to build wealth.
Yeah. Your income rarely exceeds your personal development, as he put it.
So how do we kickstart this? The formula is asking.
Asking. Simple but powerful. Ask and you shall receive. But Ron added, you have to ask intelligently.
Meaning be specific.
Very specific. What size? What color? How much? By when? Define it clearly.
And ask with faith. What do you mean by faith?
Not necessarily religious faith, but more like childlike enthusiasm. Believing it's possible. Shedding that adult cynicism that tells you, oh, that could never happen for me.
Dropping the skepticism.
Asking boldly, believingly.
Okay, and let's wrap this section with the teaspoon problem.
Ah, yes. The ocean of opportunity is vast, Ron said. Unlimited potential out there.
But most people show up with a teaspoon.
Exactly. They ask small, they plan small, they expect small. His advice, get rid of the teaspoon.
Trade it for a pail. Or maybe a bucket truck.
Or a container ship. Think bigger, ask bigger, plan bigger. Scale up your vision.
All right, we've got goals, we've got discipline. Now let's jump ahead to strategy 4. Control your finances. This was a big one for Ron.
Huge. He really saw basic financial literacy as this massive gap in education. Smart people, successful in many ways, but clueless about managing money for independence.
They knew how to earn, maybe, but not how to make their money work for them.
Right. So he urged people to look at their financial symptoms. Like, are you spending pretty much everything you make?
He had that 70% rule. Right. If you're spending more than 70% of your after-tax income just to live.
He called that slow financial suicide. You're living right on the edge. No buffer, no room for growth, no real security.
And this ties back to the importance of the plan. He shared his own mistake with Schuff.
Yeah, Ron thought, well, if I just had more money, then I'd have a better plan.
And Show flipped it.
Instantly. Said, no, if you had a better plan, you'd have more money. The plan comes first. The structure dictates the outcome, not the starting amount.
Okay, so that leads to his famous 70-30 rule. How does that break down? After taxes, of course.
Right. After-tax income, 70% is for living. Necessities, yes, but also some fun, some luxuries. Enjoying life now.
Keep things rewarding. Don't deprive yourself completely.
No. But the other 30%, that's strategic. That's for growth. And it gets divided 3 ways.
Okay, 3 equal parts, 10% each. Where does the first 10% go?
Charity. Giving back. Ron thought this was crucial to start early, even when you don't have much.
Why? What does it teach?
Gratitude, perspective, and it's not about the amount. He loved the story of the widow giving her 2 mites, basically all she had.
Jesus praised her contribution, didn't return it.
Exactly. He recognized the dignity in her giving 100% of what she had. The act of giving, the intention, that's what matters, builds character.
Okay, 10% charity. What's the next 10%? This one sounds exciting.
This is capital investment. This is the money you use to actively participate in commerce.
Like buying assets, fixing things up to sell, investing.
Yes. Buy, fix, manufacture, sell. This is the key difference, Ron said, between just working to pay bills and actively working to build wealth.
And this is where he introduced that idea. Work full-time on your job.
And part-time on your fortune. Your job covers the 70% living. This 10% invested part-time is what builds real independent wealth over time. Buy some stock, invest in a small property, start a side hustle, get in the game.
Love that. Okay, final 10%.
Savings. This is for security, peace of mind. Preparing for life's inevitable winters, job loss, health issues, market downturns.
It's a safety net.
Exactly. And invested safely long-term, this is where compounding does its magic. It protects you so you can be a bit bolder with your 10% investment capital.
So 70% living, 10% charity, 10% investment, 10% savings.
That's the framework. And he summed up the whole mindset shift beautifully.
The difference between rich and poor thinking.
Yeah. Poor people, he said, spend their money and then save whatever happens to be left over, which is usually nothing.
Okay. And rich people.
Rich people save and invest their money first and then spend what's left over from the 70%.
It's the same money, just the sequence is reversed.
But that disciplined reversal in sequence makes all the difference over the long haul.
Requires a long-term perspective, like his ant philosophy.
Yes. He said lazy people should study ants. They do 3 things incredibly well.
Okay, well,
1, they never quit, block their path, they go over, under, around, they just keep going.
persistent.
Very. 2, they think ahead.
Right.
They gather food all summer because they know winter is coming. They prepare for the lean times.
Plan for the inevitable cycles.
And 3rd, they actually think about summer during winter. They use the quiet time to get ready for the next season of opportunity. They don't just hyperloop passively.
That's a great analogy. Discipline, planning, persistence.
Exactly. And Ron was big on accountability, too, keeping score.
He said if you're like 40 or 50 and not financially independent,
It's not the country's fault. It's not bad luck. It's your plan. You've got the wrong plan.
so you need to track things. Know your numbers.
Absolutely. You need a financial statement. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. You have to know the score to make adjustments, to make mid-course corrections. You can't manage what you don't measure.
Become the master of your money, not its servant.
Well put. And finally, on finances, he talked about shifting your attitude, especially towards things like bills and taxes.
Instead of hating paying them.
Learn to love paying them.
Yeah.
Seriously. He started saying, I love to pay my taxes because he saw it as feeding the system that provided freedom and opportunity, the goose laying the golden eggs.
And paying bills with enthusiasm.
Yeah. See it as a demonstration of your control, your abundance. Sending a check with a note saying, paid with enthusiasm. It shifts your whole mindset from scarcity and frustration to control and even joy.
Okay, if money can be regained, time is different. Once it's gone, it's gone. Strategy 5, master time.
Crucial. As Arnold Bennett put it, time is the unmanufactured tissue of life. You can't make more, you can't borrow it, you can only decide how to spend the moment you have right now.
That's a heavy thought.
Yeah.
So how did Ron see people managing time? He had categories, right?
Yeah, 4 main attitudes. First, the drifter. Just aimless, no real structure, letting life happen to them.
Then the 9-to-5er.
Right. Stable, avoids stress, does the job competently but doesn't really push boundaries, prefers predictability.
Then the opposite. You're the workaholic.
Always busy, long hours, task-focused,
Yeah.
but often at the expense of everything else: health, family, actual enjoyment.
Ron warned they confuse activity with achievement.
Exactly. Just being busy doesn't mean you're being productive or effective.
So the ideal is the enlightened time manager.
Yes, this person works smarter, not just harder or longer. They focus on high-value activities, and crucially, they use leverage.
Leverage, meaning what?
Getting help, delegating tasks that others can do, building systems so their effort is multiplied, not trying to do everything themselves.
Okay, work smarter, use leverage. What else?
Here's the surprising part. The enlightened manager actually schedules time to do nothing.
Really? To drift?
Yeah, Ron called it drifting. Time for reflection, for family, for recharging. They understand that balance is key for long-term high performance. You can't sprint forever.
That makes sense. Prevents burnout.
Yeah.
So how do you become this enlightened manager? Ron emphasized writing things down.
Oh, absolutely. Thinking on paper. He recommended 4 essential tools. First, a journal.
Not just a diary of feelings.
No, more like a place to capture ideas, insights, quotes, observations. Good ideas are slippery, he said. You got to write them down immediately or they vanish.
Okay, journal for ideas. What second?
The project book. Basically, a binder with tabs for different projects, key people, maybe even your kids.
To keep track of details.
Exactly. Conversations, next steps, important dates related to specific goals or relationships. Centralizes information so nothing falls through the cracks.
Smart. Third tool.
Your calendar or day timer. Appointments, sure, but also for tracking expenses, logging meeting notes. It becomes your historical record of how you actually spent your time.
Allows you to review and adjust.
And the 4th tool is maybe the most proactive. The game plan.
Planning ahead.
Yes, Ron was strict on this. Don't start the day until you've planned the day. Don't start the week until the week is planned. Don't start the month until the month is planned.
Wow, that forces you to think ahead.
Always. It ensures your daily actions are actually connected to your bigger goals, those 1-year, 5-year plans. You're driving your schedule, not just reacting to whatever pops up.
All right, let's loop back to strategy 2. Seek knowledge. If the plan is the blueprint, knowledge is the building material.
Well said. Ron saw wisdom coming from 2 main sources, looking inward and looking outward.
Okay, looking inward is personal reflection.
Yeah, what he called rerunning the tapes. Taking time daily, weekly, yearly to consciously review your experiences.
Not just letting life wash over you.
No, he insisted that experience itself isn't the best teacher. Evaluated experiences. Ask yourself, what worked? Why? What failed? What lesson was hidden in that difficulty?
Turning raw experience into usable wisdom.
Exactly. Then there's looking outward, learning from others. Ron was huge on this. 3 main ways.
First one, books and tapes, or audio programs, as we'd say now.
Right. His famous line, all leaders are readers. He pushed for at least 30 minutes of dedicated self-education every single day.
Believing that what you learn after formal schooling is what really makes the difference.
Absolutely. Think about the ROI. A great book might cost, what, 20 bucks? But the ideas inside could literally change your financial future, your health, your relationship.
They'll be cheap with your own education.
Never. It pays the best dividends. Second way to learn from others.
Observe.
Just watching successful people. How do they handle meetings? How do they talk to people? How do they manage setbacks? Success leaves clues, he said.
You have to be an active observer, though. Know what you're looking for.
Pay attention. And the 3rd way, which I always found kind of bold.
Listening. Taking someone successful out to dinner.
Yeah. He basically said, find someone you admire, offer to buy them a nice dinner, spend $50, $100, and just get them talking for a couple of hours. Ask good questions and listen.
He joked that poor people don't usually buy rich people dinner.
And that's maybe one reason they stay poor. They're unwilling to invest a small amount for potentially priceless insights. The potential return on that dinner could be astronomical if you really listen.
Okay, strategy 3 feels like the absolute core of Ron's message. Learn how to change, personal development.
It really is the foundation. His big axiom captures it all. The only way it gets better for you is when you get better.
Life itself, the challenges, the opportunities that mix, isn't going to change fundamentally.
Nope. The economy will have ups and downs. There will be difficulties. There will be opportunities. That's constant. The variable isn't the world. The variable is you.
So focusing on changing yourself is the only game in town.
It's the only strategy that gives you control. And he framed this change process using the seasons of life analogy.
Okay, let's walk through the seasons. First, winter.
Winter represents the tough times, the recessions, the personal setbacks, the periods when things feel cold and difficult.
And the lesson isn't to wish it wasn't winter.
No, you can't change the season. The lesson is to use winter wisely, get stronger, learn new skills, read books, deepen your roots, prepare for the next season.
Use the downtime productively.
Exactly. Then comes spring.
Opportunity. Time to plant.
Right. When the conditions improve, you have to act. Take advantage of the opening. Start the business, make the investment, ask for the raise. Don't let spring pass you by because you weren't ready or too timid.
Okay, winter for preparation, spring for action, then summer.
Summer is about cultivation and protection. Good things will inevitably be challenged.
Weeds in the garden, competition in business.
Pests, drought. You have to be diligent. Nurture what you planted in spring. Protect your progress. Work hard to sustain the growth.
Requires vigilance.
Definitely. And finally, fall. Harvest time.
Taking responsibility for the results.
Yes. Accepting whatever harvest you get, big or small, based on how you handled the other seasons. No blaming, no complaining. Own your results.
That ties back to his own turning point, right?
Yeah.
Tearing up the excuses.
Absolutely. That list he had, blaming the government, taxes, traffic, his boss, he ripped it up and wrote one word on a clean sheet. Me.
Radical responsibility.
That was the key shift.
Yep.
Which leads directly into eliminating those self-imposed limitations.
Procrastination, blame.
Especially blame. He loved the Adam and Eve story for that the woman made me do it. It's human nature to deflect.
We to fight that urge.
And reject excuses. If something costs too much, don't complain about the price. Focus on increasing your ability to afford it.
Don't wish things were easier. Wish you were better.
That's pure Rohn. You have the power to change your circumstances. But it starts with changing yourself. Discipline, development, responsibility.
Strategy 6 is about the company we keep. Surround yourself with winners. Influence is subtle, isn't it?
Incredibly powerful and often gradual, so you barely notice it happening. Ron stressed that we constantly need to ask, are the people I spend the most time with lifting me up towards my goals?
Or are they subtly pulling me back down?
Exactly. It requires real honesty. He used that striking analogy of the swallow and the crow.
The swallow crying because the crow pecked its eye out.
Right. But the real reason for crying, Ron suggested, wasn't the pecking, it was because I let him. We allow negative influences into our lives.
So if people around you are cynical or unambitious or constantly complaining,
And they're chipping away at your dreams, your positive attitude that's on you for letting them stay close enough to do that damage?
so Ron advised disassociation. Does that mean cutting people off completely?
Not necessarily, though sometimes maybe. More often, it means consciously limiting the amount of time you spend with people who drain your energy or don't support your growth.
He had that sharp line about mediocrity.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to remain mediocre. All you need to do is spend major time on minor things with minor people. Ouch.
If you have big goals, you need to be around people who understand and support big goals.
You do, which leads to the flip side. Expanded association.
Actively seeking out positive influences.
Yes. Intentionally spend more time with people who embody the qualities you want to develop, people of substance, character, ambition, culture.
Associate with a purpose. Link up with people who align with your success plan, your health plan.
Find mentors, peers who challenge you. It's not about using people. It's about creating an environment that naturally pulls you upward. Their standards become your standards. Okay. Finally, strategy 7. Learn the art of living well.
And this isn't just about being rich.
No, it's about designing a fulfilling life right now with whatever resources you have, being happy with what you have while you pursue what you want. Exactly. It's about style over sheer amount. He loved simple examples like the 2-quarter mentality.
Tipping 50 cents instead of 25.
Yeah. The actual cost difference is tiny, but the feeling it gives you, that sense of abundance, of generosity, can change how you feel all day. It's a small act with psychological leverage.
Adopting a prosperous mindset even with small things.
Right. It leads to this idea of same money, different style. You might have a limited budget, but how you use it makes all the difference.
Like saving up your daily soda money.
Not just to hoard pennies, but to consciously save it for something that feels luxurious or enriching, like a really nice bottle of wine once a month, or putting it towards a future trip.
Or the story of the dad buying really good concert tickets for his daughters instead of just handing over cash begrudgingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same amount of money spent, perhaps, but the way it was spent, the thoughtfulness, the style created a priceless memory and conveyed love more effectively.
Living well also involves rewarding excellence when you see it.
Ron told that story about the young gas station attendant who went above and beyond, Cleaned the windows perfectly, checked everything without being asked. Just phenomenal service.
And Ron didn't just say thanks.
No. He drove off, then felt compelled to turn around, went and bought the kid a milkshake, and came back to give it to him.
Cost him maybe $2.
Minimal cost, but think about the impact on the attendant, who felt truly seen and appreciated, and on Ron, reinforcing his own value for excellence. It adds style to life.
He also mentioned tipping up front.
Yeah, the old meaning of tip, to ensure promptness. Give a small tip beforehand sometimes. It changes the dynamic, often guarantees great service, and puts you in a position of proactive generosity.
Little things that add flair and control. But Ron also warned about balance here.
Oh, absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
This strategy isn't just about nice dinners or generous tips. It's fundamentally about protecting what truly matters. Love and friendship.
Guarding those with a vengeance, he said.
Because those are the real treasures. Those relationships are irreplaceable. He had a great definition of a true friend.
The ones who come in when everyone else is leaving.
Exactly. The people who'd bail you out of jail in a foreign country, metaphorically or maybe literally. The ones who show up during your personal winters.
Those relationships need time, attention, nurturing, more than your bank account.
Way more. You have to schedule them, protect them, invest in them consciously. That's a core part of living well. #tag outro.
So we've covered 7 incredible strategies. Deep stuff. But Ron always brought it back to action. Knowledge isn't power.
Applied knowledge is power. And the bridge, the catalyst that turns knowledge into action. Emotion.
Emotion is the fuel. It gives the plan energy. Ron identified 4 key emotions, powerful enough to make people change, like right now. First one, disgust.
Yeah, that raw feeling of, I've had it. Enough is enough.
Like the story of the man seeing his wife counting pennies for beans.
Right. Seeing her struggle, the indignity of it, just filled him with such disgust at their situation that it forced him to change. That deep, gut-level reaction can be incredibly motivating.
Okay, disgust. Second emotion.
Decision. Just making a choice. Ron saw so many people stuck at the crossroads, afraid to pick a path.
Paralyzed by indecision.
Exactly. His advice. Just decide. Even if it turns out to be the wrong decision, at least you're moving. You can always course correct. Indecision is a decision to stay put.
Got it. Third emotion.
Desire. That deep longing for something better. It can be sparked by anything. A song, a story, seeing someone else succeed, a moment of beauty.
You have to let life touch you, he said. Don't wall yourself off.
Right. Be open to experiences that can ignite that desire. Let it pull you forward.
And the fourth emotion, resolve.
Simple, powerful. I will.
Mm-hmm.
Ron loved quoting Disraeli on this. Nothing can resist a human will that will state even its existence on the extent of its purpose.
That's intense. But
Yeah.
Ron had a simpler definition, too, from a schoolgirl.
Yeah. Resolve means promising yourself you will never give up. That's it.
So you have to ask yourself, how long am I willing to work for my dreams, for these goals?
And Ron taught the only real answer is, as long as it takes. That's resolve. That commitment, that refusal to quit, no matter what.
Which brings us right to Ron's final challenge. The question he posed directly to his audience and to you listening now.
Why not you?
Yeah. Why shouldn't you be the one living that life you dream of? Seeing the sunset from your Arizona home, shopping on Fifth Avenue, exploring the world, providing amazing experiences for your family.
It's not reserved for a chosen few. Ron insisted it's the guaranteed reward for anyone who puts in the disciplined, consistent effort over time.
It's earned, not granted by luck.
Exactly. And if you accept that, if you agree, hey, okay, why not me? Then the final question becomes urgent.
Why not now?
Why wait? Start today. Get the book, make the plan, make the call, trade in that teaspoon, start building.
Let's end with that story Ron told about the gardener, the one who transformed a rock pile.
Oh, beautiful story. So this gardener works for 2 years, turns this ugly patch of rocks into a stunning garden. A holy man walks by, impressed.
And says, God has surely blessed you with this beautiful garden.
And the gardener replies, you know, you're right, holy man. Couldn't have done it without the sun, the rain, the soil, the miracle of the seed. God provided all that.
But then he adds,
But then, you should have seen this place a couple of years ago when God had it all to himself.
The raw materials are provided. The potential is there for
The
everybody.
time, opportunity, the seasons, but the
Yeah.
garden, the prosperity, the achievement, that comes from human hands applying diligent, disciplined effort to those raw materials.
So the message is clear. Go build your garden.
Go build your garden. Start now.